Before we start the agenda, Geraint will read out the applicable paragraph about webcasting.
Please note that this meeting of the Planning, Regulatory and Licensing Committee will be recorded for subsequent broadcast via the authority's internet site. The images and sound recording may be used for training purposes within the authority. The whole of the meeting will be recorded, and the public seating areas are in view of the camera, and by entering the chamber and using the public seating area, members of the public are consenting to being filmed and to the possible use of those images and sound recordings as outlined above. And if members could please ensure that their mobile phones are switched off, as they do interfere with the sound recording systems.
Thank you. If we go to the agenda, item 1, apologies for absence, please.
Yes, Chair, we've had apologies from Councillors Alan Jones and Gareth Lewis.
Any other apologies due? No. Okay, we go on to item 2, declarations of interest. Can members take into account A and B? No declarations of interest? We go to the open session, and that's the planning applications. Item 3, P/16/0127 is the former public toilets at Cardiff Road, Edwardsville, Merthyr, Tydfil, and it's on pages 1 to 8, and Hugh Roberts is going to take this application.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, this application is for the demolition of the former public toilet buildings and the erection of a 2-storey detached dwelling. The application site is located within the settlement limits as defined by the local development plan. As such, the principle of residential development on the site is acceptable. The design of the house is sympathetic to the surrounding area and would therefore not harm the character or appearance of this part of Edwardsville. There has been 2 objections to the application as a result of the publicity exercise undertaken. The objections are highlighted on page 3 of the report and mainly relate to the loss of residential amenity to the occupiers of 1 Merthyr terrace due to overbearing impact, loss of light and overlooking, and highway safety concerns. As a result of the consultation exercise undertaken, there has been 1 objection from the engineering and traffic group leader. The objection relates to highway safety concerns from vehicles reversing to and from the highway as a result of the proposed development. As highlighted on page 5 and 6 of the report, it is considered that a dwelling can be accommodated on the site without significantly affecting the residential amenities of either the occupiers of 1 Merthyr terrace or other adjacent properties. However, due to the siting in close proximity to Edwards Primary School, a main highway junction and 2 bus stops located either side of the road, there would be conflict between the vehicular reversing movements from the proposed parking spaces and the volume of traffic and associated movements in the immediate area to the detriment of highway and pedestrian safety. As such, the application is therefore recommended for those reasons. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Any questions from members? No? Any comments? Yes, Councillor Goldsworthy and then Councillor Mansbridge.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I note in the report that my ward colleagues have requested this application come to committee. Personally, I had no objection to be dealt with under delegated powers. Neither of those councillors have spoke to me about this issue, even though I've been in their company quite regularly over the last couple of weeks. I've had no comment from any member of the public. So, as far as I'm concerned, I move the recommendation.
Because Councillor Bransby, is a comment, Councillor Mansbridge?
Comments, Mr. Chairman, yeah. As Chair of Governors of Edwardsville Primary School, we do have problems with the parking down there and the buses, because there's quite a number of buses comes there, drops children off in the morning and picks them up in the evening. So I fully agree with the engineer's report on page 2 and say that it would be quite a problem with this development.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from members? No? Right, we'll go back to Councillor Goldsworthy.
I move the recommendation, Chair.
And can you use your speaker? Use your speaker.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Can you vote out, please? Thank you, that's carried. Can I explain that's carried as a refusal? Just for you. Right, the next application is application P/16/0136, and it's proposed development of two detached dwellings, one with an integral garage, the other with a detached garage, and the widening of the existing private road, erection of a detached garage to the rear of One Pleasant View, Aberfan. And Hugh Roberts is going to take this report as well.
Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, this application is also located within the settlement limits as defined by the local development plan. As such, the principle of residential development in this location is also acceptable. There have been no objections as a result of the consultation exercise or the publicity exercise undertaken. The designs of the two houses are acceptable in this location, and they can be accommodated on the site without harming the character and appearance of the area or the amenity of surrounding residents. The existing trees on and adjacent to the site, some of which are protected by a tree preservation order, will be retained and protected during the course of construction. In this respect, the Council's countryside officer has assessed the arboricultural report submitted with the application and has raised no objection, provided the development is carried out with the recommendations of the report. Members will note that condition 3 on page 17 secures this requirement. In respect of the two dwellings, single garage and widening of the existing road, the engineer and the highways manager considers that there will be no adverse impact on highway or pedestrian safety. The single garage would also be visually acceptable and would not impact on the amenity of neighbouring residents. The application is therefore recommended for permission, subject to the 6 conditions highlighted on 16 and 17 of the report. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Hugh. Any questions from members? Yes, Councillor Chaplin.
I can't see, perhaps I'm looking in the wrong place, any requirements to check the stability of the site.
No, there isn't any conditions with regard to the stability of the site. There were details of retaining walls submitted with the application, with calculations for those retaining walls, which were checked by the engineering department and found to be acceptable, and therefore form part of the application. The engineering department didn't require any further site investigations on the site.
Any other questions from members? Other questions? Comments? Councillor Mansbridge first, and then Councillor Chaplin.
I know this development, this piece of land down by here. There's already 5 houses on the site there. There is, and the road leading up to them at the moment is nothing more than a dirt track. So I welcome this development if it improves the existing road for the residents that's up there at the moment. So I'm going to endorse it.
Thank you, Councillor Chaplin.
In view of Councillor Mansbridge's comments, I have no further comment to make.
Any other comments from members? If not, could a member move and another member second it, and press your buttons, please.
I recommend it, Mr. Chairman. Yeah.
I'll second the recommendation, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. That application is approved. Back to the agenda. Information reports. Item 5 is the delegated decision report list. That's for information. Item 6 Any other business? Any other business deemed urgent by the chair? I have none. And thank you for your attendance and declare the meeting closed.